Welcome to Trending Docket, where we dive into the cases that grip our nation and uncovering truths with empathy. I'm your host, Michelle, and today our hearts are heavy as we discuss the tragedy that has recently shattered a close-knit Ohio community. On February 16th, 2026, Ashley Flynn, a 37-year-old devoted mother, teacher, and coach, was found shot to death in her own home in Tip City, Ohio. Her husband, Caleb Flynn, called 911 claiming a burglar did it. But just 82 hours later, he was arrested and charged with her murder. This story of love turned to loss will leave you breathless. Stay with us as we piece together the facts and the evidence that we currently know. To truly understand the depth of this loss, we first need to know who Ashley Flynn was, a woman whose light touched so many lives in Tip City, Ohio, a quaint suburb just north of Dayton. Ashley was a 37-year-old mother of two that sparkled with kindness and a gentle presence that made everyone feel seen. She was a pillar at Tip City schools, working as a beloved substitute teacher and as a middle school girls volleyball coach. Students remembered her not just for her coaching skills, leading the team to regional playoffs in 2024, but for her infectious enthusiasm and encouragement. Ashley also volunteered and was an active member in their church. At home on Cunningham Court, Ashley was a devoted wife and mother of two elementary school-aged daughters. The family attended Christian Life Center in Dayton, where Ashley volunteered in children's ministry, always organizing family game nights and bake sales. Everyone that knew the couple believed that they had a happy marriage. But behind this idyllic life was her husband, Caleb Flynn, whose own story added layers to this heartbreaking puzzle. Caleb was a previous worship pastor and a former contestant on American Idol in 2013, where Caleb said, quote, "I love my wife very much. She is very, very pretty. I love her," end quote. That makes what happened next so tragic. At precisely 2:31 a.m. on Tuesday, February 16th, 2026, Caleb Flynn, 39 years old, dialed 911, his voice frantic and trembling. He told the dispatcher, "There's someone in the house. The garage door was wide open, and they shot my wife. Oh my God, there's blood everywhere." According to the released 911 audio, Caleb described an intruder bursting through the open garage door at the side of their home, firing 2 shots directly into Ashley's head. Caleb told the dispatcher that he was in the room with his wife, and his kids were in their rooms, still sleeping. The dispatcher repeatedly told Caleb to go check on them, but it wasn't until close to the end of the 911 call that Caleb finally went to check on his kids. The 911 dispatcher asked if they were breathing and okay, which Caleb said that they were. I already have so many questions. Who doesn't run to their children when an intruder breaks into their house and shoots their wife? How did Caleb know the exact number of times his wife was shot? How did Caleb know how the intruder got into their home? And how did he know the intruder was really gone? Tip City police arrived within minutes, their cruisers lighting up the quiet cul-de-sac of Cunningham Court. Officers found Ashley Flynn lifeless on the bed in the master bedroom. The couple's daughters were found unharmed, fast asleep in their bedrooms. The police started an intensive search of the area with drones and canine trackers to see if they could locate the intruder or their scent, but no scent was found. In those first chaotic hours, the scene screamed home invasion, but cracks in the story were already forming. What followed was a lightning-fast, multi-agency investigation that turned the narrative upside down in record time. By 4:28 a.m. that same morning, Caleb voluntarily went to the Tip City Police Department for a formal interview, leaving the scene secured by crime scene technicians. The timeline that follows moves fast. After Caleb was brought in for his statement, at 5:54 a.m., Chief Greg Adkins makes his first press conference. He identifies the victim and states that it was a possible burglary gone wrong. At 11:47 a.m., Chief Adkins issues another press conference, stating, quote, "The investigation will take time as investigators continue to collect, process, and analyze all the evidence at the scene," end quote. He continued by asking the public to call with any information or video footage. At 12:05 p.m. on that same day, the chief makes a third press conference, announcing the involvement of BCI, FBI, Miami County Sheriff's Office, and Miami Prosecutor's Office in the investigation. On February 18th, 2 days after Ashley's murder, investigators were still on the scene collecting evidence. Later that day, Chief Adkins did another press conference, stating that Ashley's murder was targeted and the public was no longer in danger. On February 19th at 5:07 p.m., Caleb was booked into Miami County Jail on preliminary charges of 1-count homicide, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of tampering with evidence. Key evidence mounted against the burglary claim pretty quickly. Things were not adding up based on the police reports from that night. Police responded to the home on the morning of February 16th. Caleb gave permission for them to enter the home, and in the master bedroom, they found Ashley, deceased from a gunshot wound to the head. On the floor at the foot of the bed, they found 2 gun shell casings. As they continued their search, they went into the garage, where Caleb said the intruder entered. In there, the police noted, the garage side door was open. They also noticed a large refrigerator placed in front of it. The refrigerator would have to be moved in order to open the door. In the garage, the police also noted 2 cars parked, and in one of the cars, the center console was open. Caleb told the officer that is where he kept his gun. At this point, the police have not made it clear if they actually have the murder weapon or not. Also noted in the report was the couple's 2 elementary-age kids that slept through everything. By February 19th, just 82 hours later, Caleb was arrested. At this point, they aren't sure what the motive is for killing his wife, that he claimed to love so much. Caleb has a couple of speeding tickets, but no previous criminal record. At his video arraignment on February 20th from Miami County Jail, the 39-year-old former worship pastor, dressed in an orange jumpsuit, pleaded not guilty, and bond was set at $2 million. If Caleb posts bond, there are conditions he must follow: house arrest, electronic monitoring, and no contact with his daughters. His attorney, L. Patrick Mulligan of Dayton, fired back publicly. This short timeline and rush to judgment raises serious concerns about a potential wrongful conviction, end quote. Ashley's family has also released a statement. Quote, "Our family believes this arrest was made carefully and not without serious consideration. After speaking with both local police and federal authorities, we trust the proper steps were taken and the process is being handled appropriately," end quote. A preliminary hearing is set for February 26th to determine if there's probable cause. The investigation continues, with BCI agents combing through financial records and conducting interviews to see if they can determine a motive. As Tip City mourns, red and white ribbons, symbolizing justice and faith, adorn lampposts along Main Street, etched with Bible verses like Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Per the family wishes, a private ceremony for Ashley was held at their church. Her family released a statement. Our hearts are shattered beyond words, but we trust the authorities and cling to our faith, just as Ashley did each and every day. End quote. The family asks for privacy as they navigate their tremendous loss. The girls are now with loving relatives, their world upended. This case reminds us how tragedy can lurk in the happiest homes and urging us to cherish our loved ones. If you have information, contact Tip City Police at 937-667-6700 or the Ohio BCI tip line at 855-BCI-OHIO, 855-224-6446. Thank you for joining me on Trending Docket. If this episode moved you, subscribe, comment, and like. Keep following us for updates on the Ashley Flynn case as we wait for justice. Our hearts are with Ashley's family and friends, especially her young children.